This is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and today I have a fun video. I would like to show you a few super simple, very basic napkin folds and rolls, because I figured for the holiday season, I know lots of people tend to host more often, maybe have parties or have friends over, visit, and I think that a cloth napkin can just immediately elevate kind of any event at all. And I have these very, very cheap napkins that I actually ended up buying for my wedding, and we had, a bunch of them, and we kept a set for us to have at the house along with these charger plates. So we found and bought all of our charger plates, and after the wedding we sold off everything to other people getting married. They wanted to buy decorations, but we kept enough of everything to have our own little dinner party set. And I love these napkins just for that. Even though they were super cheap, they're not the highest quality napkin, they just feel so much nicer. It makes everything feel a tiny bit fancier if you use a cloth napkin over a paper napkin. And I wanted to kind of show you a few different types of napkin rolls and folds. So these ones have the cutlery in them, and then these two on the sides. This one's a little bow, this one's just kind of a little fan type of moment, and I have this little leaf on there. I'll kind of take you through all of these, and then I will kind of show you a little setup that you could do with them on a little dinner setting like this. This might not need stating, but these are not things that I came up with. I found these folds online. I'm probably not doing them exactly perfect, and I think I remember a video from Maria Gentle Whispering where she showed some napkin folds and rolls, and I imagine I picked up some of these from that video. I don't recall, it's been a while since I watched that video. And if you don't have cloth napkins, or you just don't want to purchase them, you can do really cute table settings with paper disposable napkins. And I actually have two adorable fall paper napkins that I found at, I think, the Dollar General, and I think the other one, I think these pumpkin ones I found at Ross, maybe. But these are disposable napkins, and they're just so cute, and you could have these on the place setting and just set the silverware right on top. So there are some really simple, cheap ways to dress up your table setting just a little bit. So at the end I might show just a few example table settings with these paper napkins that would look kind of cute. So let's go ahead and go through one by one, and I will show you how you can make a cute little table setting by dressing it up just a little bit with some cloth napkins. The first napkin roll I'm going to show you is the simplest one, and it doesn't have to look the neatest, but it's just so easy to do. And for this one I have these fake little fall leaves, and I had this one just kind of sitting right on top of my little makeshift napkin holder or napkin ring. And this is a little paper towel roll that I just sliced into little strips and then cut this way and then taped it so that it kind of worked because we don't actually have napkin rings. So I wanted something makeshift, but you could do this and then just do a little dab of hot glue. Get some of these little leaves or like a little sprig of holly or, you know, evergreen pine or something, and you could just put this like right on that napkin ring. But let me show you how you get to this point. And I did not iron any of these napkins, so we are working with what we've got. I'm going to unfold this, and it's a little bit bigger than my setup right here, but I'm just working with what we've got. So I first like to unfold it all the way out. I like to have the seams up when I'm doing any napkin folding. That way what is visible is the clean edges instead of the seam parts. And as you can see, this is very wrinkly. Give me some grace. So for this one, I'm first going to fold this just in half. Just up like a little rectangle. Just like that. And then I'm going to take one side and fold it over to the other side. And then we get this nice little square just like this. And you can smooth it out if you would like. But this is one that is just the easiest, because now all you're going to do is take your napkin ring, your little holder, maybe one that looks slightly nicer than this, maybe not, who knows, and then you're going to grab one of these kind of closed. I like to grab the one that's like closed in fully, so not one of these free edges. So I like to grab this corner, and then you just put the napkin ring right over the corner and slide it right up. And honestly, that's it. And then you can kind of shush this however you want. I like to kind of separate the pieces out. You can fold it a little bit. You can even flip it over and have it be a little bit cleaner, more of like a fan moment like that. Whichever way you choose. And then you just put the leaf or whatever, is on your napkin holder. You could have this already on your napkin holder. And you just put that right in the middle, just like that. So let me show you what this would look like on the place setting. So this is one option for a place setting. This is just a little leaf placemat. If you don't have charger plates or dinner plates at the placemats, this is what this could look like. I didn't bring up glassware, so we're not gonna see a full table setting, but this is what that would look like. Let me show you what it would look like with the charger plate. So you could have it just kind of right in the middle. I know some people also like to flip it and have the pointy edge up at the top, kind of like that, and just fan out the bottom part. So it's really kind of your preference, but this is the absolute easiest one. If you have napkin rings or holders or even a ribbon, you can just tie it around the edge, kind of right in the middle there, and cinch it, and then it kind of turns out just like this. So this is the most simple one, super easy to do, very quick, and the silverware isn't in the napkin. So let's say you're doing a buffet style and you have the silverware and the dinner plates where the food is all set up and people like serve themselves and come back to their place setting. Their napkins are already here. They don't have to worry about grabbing napkins as well. So this was the first napkin roll. I don't really know exactly what this would be called. I call it the simple pinch and cinch. But it's so simple, very easy. I feel like anyone can do this one, and it just looks a little bit more elegant than just having a folded napkin. This next napkin fold is in the shape of a little bow. And for this one, I just have a little ring of ribbon that I cut and taped to act as my napkin holder. So this would be a great opportunity to do like a little festive ribbon if you wanted. And I think that this one is so adorable and cutesy. Like, it's not as adult as some of them, but honestly, it's so cute. We don't need to be so adult all the time. And I think it's just adorable. I'm pretty sure this one I learned from Gentle Whispering. I think I do it slightly differently now, but I think the original bow idea I got from Gentle Whispering. So I'm going to show you how I do this one. So, for this one, I need to have the napkin in sort of a diamond rather than a straight square. So I need it a little bit like this. And then I'm going to fold up the corner to make a triangle like that. And then what I'm going to do next is fold down this top piece. Not all the way down, maybe like 2/3 of the way. And then I'm going to fold this part up just over that edge, or that tip of the triangle, and flatten that out. And then I'm actually going to now fold this all the way up, just like that, so that it is in this kind of neat line. And I'm going to take this right edge and fold it over, not at the middle, but a little bit before it. So we're just going to fold it down just like that. Then I'm going to take this left edge and fold it horizontally over just like that, so kind of straight across. You could have it down like this too, but the next step you're going to see why I just do it like this. So you fold it just like this, and then next you take your little napkin ring or ribbon or rope or whatever you're using, and you're going to pinch this kind of edge here and this middle part. You're going to pinch all of that together and slide your napkin holder, your napkin ring, whatever you're using. You're just going to slide it all the way up, which can be a little bit tricky. Trying not to unfold everything. But if you just kind of take your time with it, it should eventually slide up. And then you can release this end of the ribbon and kind of fix the edges. And then I like to flip it over because I think that this side just kind of looks a little bit prettier. It hides more of the folds. And then there you go. That is a very simple, very cute little ribbon. You can kind of twist these edges if you would like, or just kind of leave them dangling like this. You can adjust the proportions to have bigger of these like ears of the bow or have longer little tails. So you can kind of choose whatever you want to do with it. Here's what the bow would look like just right on the placemat like this. And this is kind of a not very traditional placemat. I think most are like, you know, circle or square, but I like this one. These are the placemats we have on our dining table for fall because it's kind of cute and it's different. And here it is, just placed right on top of a charger plate. Again, if I was actually doing a fall table setting, I would probably do a gold charger plate. Or even black. I feel like black on top of this kind of like coppery gold leaf would be really interesting. But that is our little bow. Again, super simple, very easy. You can also do this just with regular ribbon tied or like twine or, you know, anything that you want really. You don't have to have napkin rings. So very, very super simple. Now let's start with our napkin rolls with the silverware. So the first two, you do not have to have your silverware with a napkin, but let's say you're doing a full table setting with the plate and the glassware, and you just want your guests to have the silverware or the cutlery at their table. So this fold here is a like triple fold or like a pocket fold, whatever you want to call it, and it is very convenient and it's very cute. But you can just slide the silverware right in, and let's say you're serving a dish that does not require a spoon. You could take the spoon out and you could substitute it for a little sprig of, you know, baby's breath or fern or flower or a fake leaf like this. You could just tuck right in to the edge. Just have it kind of poking out like that. And I don't know if I would do this ribbon if I did that leaf like that, or maybe I would move the ribbon down a little bit. Who knows? But you have a few different options with this fold, which kind of makes it a little bit more fun. So this one I've just got this ribbon draped. I'm going to take this cutlery out. But I just have the ribbon draped. I didn't actually like, you know, hot glue it or anything, but I just kind of draped around the back and tied it. And this fold, I think, looks very elegant. It's really simple again, and it allows for you to have the cutlery at the place setting. You don't really need a napkin ring. Like you saw, you could use a little, you know, ribbon if you want. You could decorate it a little bit, but it's not a necessity. You don't need it to keep the fold together. So I'm just laying this out flat, and it is very, very wrinkly. And the first step that we're going to do is fold this in half, like this, lengthwise. And then I'm going to take this bottom edge and fold it up like that to meet the top. And then smooth that out just a little bit. I'm going to take this top corner and drag it all the way down to the bottom edge, like that. And then we're going to take this next loose corner and we're just going to tuck it right behind that first one. And then now you can see we're kind of starting this little pocket. You can have it go kind of further in, further out, whatever aesthetic you're looking for. And then we're going to take this next loose one and do just the same thing again. Just tuck that right in or behind the last one, or the one before it. And then we're going to flip this to the back side, just like that. And then we're going to take this left side and fold it back maybe about an inch, inch and a half or so, however much you want. And then I'm going to take this other side and fold it all the way back like that. And then this is the front now. We have these lovely little pockets. And then now you can just take your cutlery and go ahead and slide them right in. I always like to do knife, fork, and then spoon or whatever decoration you're using if you don't need a spoon. Just like that. And then you can take some ribbon, just kind of drape it. I think I did 2 wraps of the ribbon, kind of like that. You can do it higher up here. You could also do it kind of lower below this last fold, kind of like that. Whatever you're feeling, really. Again, I'm not gonna secure this really in any way. And that is the triple fold. And you can make this more narrow if you want. You can fold this part up if you want. Super versatile. You can kind of do whatever you would like with it. Let's take a look at what this would look like on a place setting. So this is what this would look like on a placemat, just laid out like this, maybe a little bit more neat. And then you could also, like I was saying, swap out the spoon, or even just put like a sprig of something right here, or not have the ribbon and just do a little bit of twine and hot glue a leaf like right in the middle, or maybe lower down without the ribbon. Lots of different options for this. I think that it looks pretty nice and classy. Let's take a look at it with a charger plate. So this is roughly what this would look like on the charger plate. I'm not the biggest fan of this one on a round charger plate like this. I think this kind of looks the best if it can be maybe off to the side, kind of like that. And then you have your glassware, your wine glass or something kind of up here. And then you have the name card or some other decoration here, especially if you have your dinner plates on the table alongside the cutlery. I think that this could still look really classy without the silverware on top of this. So this was the triple fold or pocket fold or whatever you want to call it. Again, really simple, very elegant, a little bit dressier than some of the other rolls. These next 2 rolls I'm kind of grouping together because they're very similar. The only difference is this one has this kind of pointed edge up here, whereas this one I tucked that edge while I was doing the roll. And it gives you a little bit more of a neat kind of rolled look if that's what you're looking for. I really like this one too. I think that this one's really cute, and I think that this roll is actually what we ended up doing for our wedding, and we had little bits of jute twine like this, and we did little sprigs of like an evergreen sprig with a little bit of like dried baby's breath, and it was really cute. But this was so easy and simple, and since we were doing our own like place settings, this was just really easy for us to do. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you both of these. These I have just tied with this jute twine. This one, I thought this was kind of cute to put a little fake leaf just under the twine like that. and it like makes it a little bit more fall. I feel like this would be perfect for Thanksgiving. You could put maybe a sprig of holly or something in there if you're doing this for, you know, December holidays, Christmas. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do this first one without this part tucked, and then I will show you how I do this one with it tucked. Going to untie the little bow. And this one is convenient because it does have the silverware all tucked in on the inside. So for this one, we need to lay out our napkin, stretch it out, ignore all of the crinkles, and we're going to have it set up in that diamond configuration. And then I'm going to take this bottom corner, match it up with the top corner, just like that. And then I'm going to take these edges and fold them in, not all the way across because this one isn't quite big enough for that, but just like that, and it kind of makes this like open envelope shape. And then I'm going to take this bottom part and fold it up. You can fold it all the way up like this. You can do a smaller part like that. I'm going to fold it all the way up like this. And this just kind of gives a little bottom pouch for the silverware to kind of slide right in, and they're not falling out of the roll. And then we're going to take our cutlery and slide it on the inside of our little envelope all the way down to this bottom part here. And then we're going to turn it on its side. And now we're just going to lift up this side here with the silverware and roll it in a bit of a tight roll. And you might need to just kind of pay attention to this bottom part and just kind of maneuver it to make sure that it stays in a tight little roll. Just like that. And then you can kind of adjust the napkin as you need it. And then we're going to take our twine or ribbon, whatever we're using. You can do a napkin ring here too. That would probably be a lot easier. And we're just going to do a tiny little bow. I don't do fancy bows, I just do like a regular shoelace bow. Kind of like that. And you can just kind of adjust it however you want. This side is a little bit wonky. That's okay. But there we go. So that is the silverware roll with this part kind of tucked out or untucked. And then the bottom is this neat little roll where the silverware is not going to come out if you're like shaking it around or moving things during setup. I think that this roll looks really cute on both the placemat and the charger plate. Like that. I think that's really cute. And I'm biased, so we had our charger plates like this for our wedding. We did these white napkins, jute twine, some evergreen, and dried baby's breath. We had our champagne glasses, like our glassware, up here at the top. And then we didn't actually have a bottom placemat. It was just the charger plates. And the dinner plates were set up by a buffet line. So I'm a little biased. This is my favorite silverware roll because it is so simple, so easy. So this one is very cute. I think that it also looks cute just off to the side if you want it like that. And then you can do a little decoration here on the middle of the plate. So now let me show you how to do this roll but tuck this top part in. we are back at this same step here where we just slid the silverware just in like that. And then for this one, when I tuck in the top, I'm actually going to reduce this bottom pocket just a little bit so that I can slide the silverware a little bit further down so that they are all the way below this edge. And then I'm going to tuck in this part just like that, and it kind of closes the envelope. And then I'm going to turn it to the side, and now we're just going to roll just like we did before, except we're going to be a little bit more careful with this top edge and tucking this bottom edge. Sometimes it kind of wants to roll up like this. You can just kind of tuck it as you go along. And now we have our little neat silverware roll. And this one you can tuck these edges underneath if you want, like tuck this part in here and it keeps it nice and tight together, but I'm going to be tying this anyways, so I don't really mind about doing that. So I'm going to put this leaf just right here in the center, and I'm going to tie my twine right over that leaf. And you can kind of stretch it out if you need, do whatever works best, and make our tiny, tiny little bow. Okay, it's not the best bow, but I don't know, my bows for this video aren't coming out as cute as they were when I was prepping everything. But that is what that roll looks like. So very simple, very, quick, easy. The silverware is tucked in. It's kind of nice and safe. This is what that roll would look like, just right on top of the placemat. I think this one's really cute with the leaf and the bigger placemat leaf. And this is what this one would look like on the charger plate. So very cute. I could have done this top part a little bit better. And I also think this one looks really cute just off to the side too. So lots and lots of options. So this was my last napkin roll with the cloth napkins that would kind of dress up a place setting very nicely. So I'm going to remove this one and just kind of show you what this would look like with the paper napkins. So let's start with just this cute pumpkin. So you could get a charger plate like this for all of your dinner settings, or even just use the dinner plates if you would like. And then just put this cute little pumpkin napkin right on the plate like that. I think that is so stinking cute. Especially if the silverware is off to the side over here and you have your glassware up top. I just think that's adorable. So that's the pumpkin one, and then I have just kind of a more classic, just regular white napkin. So you could just have it kind of like right on top like that. I don't think this one is as cute, but I'm sure you could also kind of fold it as you need. So you could fold it in half like this and just put some of the silverware right on top like that. So even if you don't want to get cloth napkins, if you don't have cloth napkins, there are still some cute ways that you can dress up your place setting with these paper napkins. Alright, so that is all of the place settings and napkin styles I wanted to show you today. These ones are really, really simple to do, as you saw, but I think that these are great ways to just spruce up your place settings. You can use them for any time of year. There's some cutesy ones, some kind of more like adult classic ones. Lots of different options. So I hope that if you are hosting this year, even outside of the holidays, now you have some tricks up your sleeves. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.